There seems to be a war on cattle in D.C., from the supposed climate crisis linked to the production of beef to Congress taking a second look at whole milk's place in school cafeterias. I spoke with Dr. John Jaquish to get his thoughts on why the government is prioritizing alternatives to beef. The United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization is calling on the United States to cut down on meat consumption. They claim this is to cut down on greenhouse gas emissions. But according to studies, beef cattle are responsible for just 2% of greenhouse gas emissions in the U.S. and less than 0.5% in the world's emissions. The National Cattlemen's Beef Association calls these measures artificial barriers to protein consumption that will do nothing to solve the world's climate issues. Meanwhile, ironically, UN leaders dined on beef and burgers at the COP28 summit the past few weeks. For more on this, I want to bring in Dr. John Jaquish. Dr. J, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Katie.
Absolutely. So what do you think of this? Is there a war on the beef industry?
Yes, there is. It just has to do with costs. It has to do with government being in the middle of people's budgets for food. 76% of Americans are either on welfare or on Social Security. So their regular budget is dictated by federal funding. So would any government rather spend $2 a day telling you Twinkies are good for you, or would they rather give you $25 a day and tell you steak is great for you? Ultimately, it's just a money thing, and no country can afford to tell people to eat in the healthiest manner. That's why there's always been a war on the beef industry.
I wanted to shift our focus to policy on Capitol Hill. Lawmakers, they debated that the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act of 2023 on Capitol Hill this week. Well, they passed the bill, and if signed by Biden, would allow public schools to serve 2% and whole milk again. Both have been banned since 2012 because of studies linking saturated fat and child obesity put forth in Michelle Obama's school lunch initiative. But is this stigma around fatty whole milk rooted in outdated data, or is whole milk healthy for kids and adults?
Whole milk is healthy for kids and adults. There are quite a few allergies that did not used to exist that exist now, and the science is not, I don't like to say it's not settled, because science is never settled, but we're not exactly sure. Remember, milk is growth formula for infant animals, including us. So there are potentially some complications for adults drinking milk, which is probably why allergies for milk, specifically in milk-based products, products with casein protein, which is a milk protein, don't work very well with adults, but are fine for kids. So I don't want to seem like I'm definitive with this, but there is so much more data that says milk products are healthy for growing adults, adolescents, than there is negative. And again, like you said, there are some biased things out there. Like there are the fortified orange juice manufacturers want you to drink orange juice. So they'll fund studies saying milk is bad, which is just sort of unfortunate.
Well, perfect, Dr. J. Thank you so much for speaking with me. Where can our viewers find you?
Yes, Katie, thank you. My website, drj.com, DOCTOR, the letter J.com. It's linked to all my social media, YouTube. I do the most on Instagram, so if you're going to pick one to follow me, Instagram.
Perfect. Thanks again.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.